We continue with our Radio Row coverage from San Francisco. I'm Pat Strathman, a guy who's been on the program numerous times on the phone and also has been a part of the program at Super Bowl Radio Row numerous times. It's Shawne Merriman who joins us on the program. Shawne, always good to see you. You're just killing it, man. You're looking like a killer yourself. Like you're ready to go out there and do your lights out extreme fighting right now, but it's good to see you. How's everything going so far?
Same here, man. It's been great, and man, I was just trying to think as we were walking up. I was walking up with Josh. I was like, how many radio rows I've been? It had to been over maybe 15.
It's a lot.
Maybe about
you and I have linked up for 5 consecutive ones.
Right. And so it's probably about 15. But for me personally, right, because I'm in business and I'm in MMA and different stuff now. Mm-hmm. You don't get a chance to get around the younger the newer players, right? In the last couple of years. I know guys that played 10 years ago and 7 years ago, but you get around to meet the younger players nowadays, and they come up to you and they look at you like Unc, right, or Big Bro. And like, dude, I'm not that old, right? I'm not that old, but it's great, man, getting around some of these younger guys.
Well, you just hit the nail on the head. Some of these younger cats. What do you think of this Super Bowl coming up? You have Seattle in New England. I don't think anyone projected this type of a matchup at the beginning of the season. And it's two teams being led by quarterbacks that a lot of people probably doubted going into this year. Drake May for New England, the heir apparent to Tom Brady. And then you look at Seattle. Hold on. Let me check my notes. Sam Darnold is the one who's leading the charge, which is a surprise considering he was at New York, then Carolina, rejuvenated in Minnesota, and now keeping it rolling in Seattle. How about this matchup? Just starting with the QBs, definitely quarterbacks that you don't necessarily think of. It's not Josh Allen. It's not Patrick Mahomes. Two quarterbacks that are not in the same breath as those guys.
It's funny you said that because think about this. And I say this a lot. Sam Darnold, that's been in so many different organizations, was backup. I think a few of them even third team, right, on the roster. Now he's playing in the Super Bowl. So what does that tell you? What it tells me is he's been in some bad situations. Maybe not good organizations, not good coaches, not given an opportunity. And if you're any one of these organizations, and probably more so than anybody, the Vikings, who just had him, who had a chance to retain his contract, who had a chance to re-sign him, kept J.J. McCarthy. Mm-hmm. What are you saying now? What are you saying to yourself? And as far as Drake May, I think that he's had it. But somebody like Vrabel, I didn't like Vrabel as a player, man. Vrabel he was smart, but he was nasty. I mean, he was a nasty guy, which is great for them. I just hated it. Looking back, we talk about the opportunity. You just got let go by Tennessee. And where are you at in the Super Bowl? So what's going on in these organizations where somebody can have this quick of a turnaround and play in the Super Bowl, and what are you doing in that building? That's the first thing that started coming to my mind when I see quarterbacks or coaches that go and put themselves in a winning position to be at a Super Bowl, and they were just at another organization that got fired or got traded or got let go.
How has Mike Vrabel been able to do this in New England so quickly?
Let me tell you, man, Vrabel was so damn smart as a player. And we used to sit in the team meeting rooms. Well, I didn't see him a whole lot because in the defense meeting rooms we would watch the offense. Mm-hmm. But we were in the team meeting rooms and just saw his interaction and his knowing what's coming. And he's just such a smart player. And he wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the strongest, but man, he made plays because he was so damn smart and he was always competitive. That's what's trickling down into this team. That's exactly what's trickling down into this Patriots team. They don't name one thing they do great,
right?
You get what I'm saying? So, and don't get me wrong, my brother Stephon Diggs, former Terp, us Terps stick together. But name one thing that they do great on that team where you're like, man, they're the best in the league, or they're top 2 or top 3. Nothing. But they're here because of Vrabel and how he put these guys in a position week in and week out to compete.
You brought up Stephon Diggs. I was going to bring him up too because I feel like this Super Bowl resiliency is really the theme to me for both squads. And for Stephon Diggs, goes away from Buffalo, ends up in Houston, suffers an injury, You're thinking, oh, this might be it for Stephon Diggs. Like it might be. It might be time to hang him up, or maybe he turns into a wide receiver 3 rather than being the type of guy he can be. Then he ends up in New England as a quarterback that's throwing him the ball that's pretty darn good. And now you look at Stephon Diggs. I never would have thought, after seeing how he watched the Chiefs celebrate the AFC title game a few years back, you see him standing there watching, just taking it all in, just going, I got to really feel this hurt. I never would have thought that guy would find his way to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Honestly. So Stephon Diggs getting to this point. How about Stephon Diggs and his path to get to this point?
It's that's probably been, and I've known Steph since he was like a 16-year-old kid. So kind of looking back at all these guys now.
So you are Unc.
Yeah, I am Unc. Yeah, I am Unc. Big bro, and then a couple more years I moved to the Unc status. But more importantly of everything he did on the field, Steph always had a knock on him, how he was in the media, how he was with his team, and whether it was true or not, it was there. Watching his growth as a person this year and how he dealt with the media, that first press conference he had and said, listen, we're going to be to the media. We're going to be here together for a long time, right? I haven't always acted a part in the past and stuff like that, but I want to let you guys know who I am. Mm-hmm. That first press conference is something different that I've ever seen him since he was 16 years old. I've never seen that out of him. So I'm more happy and proud of him of how he's handled things. Definitely with the media, because he hasn't always been great with the media and going back and forth with the media, and then always had something with teammates and something. But everything ended up rightfully so for him in his path, because nobody thought he was coming back and playing his way out this ACL. No one.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Seattle, how did the Seahawks in that NFC West division with the 49ers, with the Rams, how did they get through all of that to get to this point to where they're playing for a Super Bowl?
Resilient, man. They're resilient. And I think a lot of that comes from the head coach. And, I made a comment, a couple of days ago. I think we're going to see a lot of the NFL start switching to defensive-minded head coaches and looking for great offensive coordinators to come out. And I think that is Jesse Mentor, all these guys.
Yeah.
Robert Salah, right down in Tennessee now. Mm-hmm. You're going to see a big wave here with defensive-minded head coaches and them going out and finding great offensive coordinators. Because guess what? Those offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators are going to leave anyway if you win enough games. So bring that mentality, that defensive mentality, being aggressive, takeovers, turnovers, hitting guys in the mouth. Bring that philosophy, that mindset to the team. Let that trickle down, because you're going to win a lot of football games with that mindset. And then bring in an explosive offensive coordinator, Mike McDaniels, right, to the Chargers. This is the wave that's going to start happening here soon, because defense wins championships, but the defensive mindset is what needs to be established.
Okay, I was going to go away from the Super Bowl and ask you about Mike McDaniel going there to L.A.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Chiefs fans who wanted him, by the way. A lot of Chiefs fans wanted him to be there. But now they end up with Sean's Chargers. He'll be the OC over there. He seems rejuvenated. What does that do for the Chargers now moving forward?
It's everything. And I want to take a shot at Greg Roman and all, because I think that as a run coordinator and them being able to run the football and the run mentality first has been great. But when you got somebody like Mike McDaniels, who is as explosive as he is in his play calling, with Justin Herbert, some of these guys, and finding ways to get Ladd McConkey open and the young tight end too, to come in there and make plays. You got a running back there, a young rookie. He's been second year now.
Yeah.
But when you got that in the backfield, he got a lot of weapons. They go out and fix that offensive line. These guys are going to score a lot of points this season.
And something else to bring up too. I think cap space wise, I think the Chargers are in really, really good shape too. Great. They can drop some coin on some people if they want to, which that's part of the game. Because you look at the Chiefs, for instance, way different story to where they are still way over the cap, and they got a lot of problems to fix.
Yeah.
And one of those solutions, bringing back a familiar face in Eric Bieniemy. They don't talk to anyone else. Maybe they did below the surface. But on the surface, they only talk to Eric Bieniemy. With him coming back, Sean, I'm lukewarm on it. But Patrick Mahomes wants accountability. Eric Bieniemy was known for that when he was here in Kansas City. Rushing-wise, Kansas City's rushing attack is non-existent. There's hope there that maybe he can correct that. But when you bring back a familiar face, is that going to solve the issues there in Kansas City?
Yeah, because let me tell you, Eric Bieniemy's his coaching style, he's on your ass, right? I mean, he's in your face, he's pushing you, he's not afraid to get on the bigger name guys, and you start to see them not being disciplined on the offensive line, the holding calls, the offsides, lining up, just those things are not going to happen on Bieniemy's watch. And I'm not trying to take a shot at Nagy at all. I don't want to do that because I think that he's got another job somewhere else too.
Yeah, he did. Giants.
Yeah. And so I don't want to take a shot at him at all, but it's a different level of coaching in how you react to players and how you get them to respond to you.
Well, we'll see if that changes things, but how does Kansas City get back to here?
The problem, and I say this all the time, it's not – I don't even think the Chiefs are as bad as people making them as far as a team. I don't think they're terrible. I just think that everyone else around them got better. Chargers got better. Denver got better. And then the Raiders are going to bring in Kubiak, right?
Yeah, they're bringing in Kubiak, which is a huge deal for Raiders fans to listen to this program. I texted one of them. I'm like, hey, I think you maybe finally made the right hire.
They got him. They're going to probably draft Mendoza.
Yeah.
Right? So now you fix your two biggest problems that you got. And then they got offensive line issues, but you got Genty back. So what happens now, the Chiefs been so dominant for so long. Now, Raiders going to be better. The Chargers going to be better. Denver's going to be better. And now the Chiefs got to find their way again. And it's not that they're as bad as everybody make them, but you just got competition now.
Oh, well, Patrick Mahomes coming off an ACL tear.
And that too. Yeah.
That's a huge question mark, no? And
well,
how do you go about doing that?
Today's medicine and stuff like that, they're not going to rush him back. He'll be completely fine before the season starts, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
Or the ACLs, man, it's just one of those things. But ACL nowadays, I feel like Achilles is like the worst thing.
That's the one. I mean, I've had the Achilles, and there's no worse injury than that.
It does not sound fun. I don't want to sign up for something like that. So Kansas City trying to fix all those different issues. They're in that cap hell as we talked about. What do they do for this upcoming draft? What's the strategy for Kansas City for this upcoming draft?
You got to look for a tight end or wide receiver. They're good at the wide receiver. They got a lot of speed at the wide receiver, but you need a big possession guy, that tight end position. They can use some help in that offensive line a little bit as well. I mean, the penalties and the stuff, they were just all over the place. So I would go there. That's where I would go.
Okay. Who you got for this weekend?
Seattle. I mean, Seattle have to make so many mistakes and do so many things wrong in order for them to lose. The only reason why I'm giving the Patriots a shot at winning is because of Vrabel. Him being in these situations, running the football, chewing up the clock, not making any mistakes, not giving, Seattle too much of a chance to make big plays, keeping the game close. I think it's going to be a great first half. I think Seattle starts to pull away big in a second.
Okay. I was going to ask you about that too. Is it Seattle big or is it Seattle small? Because I feel like after people watch the AFC Championship game, like everyone thinks, the NFC is just going to roll. It doesn't matter who it is. They're going to roll, which, I mean, I guess when you think about it, the two teams that were playing came from a division that was pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So I guess that would make sense. Out here promoting Lights Out Extreme Fighting. Is that what we're doing today?
We just signed a deal, Lights Out Extreme Fight, with ESPN Latin America back in December. It was our first show out, one of the highest watched shows. I don't know what the hell is going on or why. We got great growth and we got some of the top fighters in the world, but this growth we've had over this past year has been unprecedented, man. It's just kind of surreal. It's a little crazy, especially with UFC going over to Paramount and us kind of moving in certain spots with ESPN has been great.
Yeah. When's the next show?
Working on April.
Okay, working on April.
Working on April.
Okay, cool. I always like to ask that question. Just to promote.
Yeah. We'll put on at least 9 to 10 fights a year for ESPN, part of our contract multi-year.
Going to be in San Francisco?
What's that?
Is it going to be in San Francisco?
No.
It's primarily LA, right?
It's SoCal, but believe it or not, man, that's what fighters we pull up here from the Bay Area. There's a lot of fighters from San Jose, San Francisco. We got all the way up to Stockton. We got, a few fighters out of Nick Diaz camp. So, yeah.
Love it. Shawne, always a pleasure, my man. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of the week. All
You
right.
got it, bro. Appreciate it.